What's up, guys? I wanted to talk about practice habits because we recently gave out essentially the literal hardest part of the show last camp. Um, we didn't work on it at all. That would be the part three excerpt. If you haven't got it, make sure you check out the drive. It's in there. Um, but we passed out the hardest part of the show. And it's not in the video assignment, so it's not like required that you start thinking about it now. But I would start thinking about it now because it's going to be the thing we're going to work on all season. It's going to be the thing we're going to woodshed like nobody's business. And I think it's really important to think about how to practice something with this many notes, because not everybody's, been given the woodwind parts of, 16th notes and 32nd notes that look like a freaking ant race before. So I just kind of want to talk about what I do when I see a piece of music in front of me that has this many notes, especially because this is in a really weird key. It has a lot of accidentals. And so what I really like to do to kind of get this in my brain. So first of all, I listen to it a whole bunch. I've already listened to it a good amount of times. If you haven't, take 5 minutes of your day and just listen to it. Not just one time. Listen to it and follow along with your part. Literally sit there, listen to it 5, 6, 7 times until you're like, all right, this is exactly what it sounds like. And really try to imagine hearing it with your mind's ear. Basically, what that is called is audiating. That people talk about like seeing things with your mind's eye. This is hearing with your mind's ear and really imagining yourself playing it. If you have to valve along or finger along, that's totally cool too. But the best way to learn this stuff, in my opinion, break it down real slow. So I've got a metronome at 80 beats per minute, which is about 40 clicks under what the actual tempo is. And I break this down note to note, like straight up. So I'm looking at the first trumpet part here for anyone that's curious. So I just go. All right, so I've got that first note. So now I can add the second note. All right, so now I've got 2 notes. And then I break it down like that. So all right, now I'm on 3 notes. But now there's an articulation. Ba-da-da. Do-a-da. If I can say it, I can do it. All right, now I can add the 4th note. Actually, I added the 5th, up to the 5th note there, but... And do it until you can't get it wrong. If I for some reason put the articulation in the wrong place, I added one where it doesn't go, or maybe I forgot to put the one on immediately on beat 2 there, I would sit there and do it until I have it right, 100% every single time, until I can't get it wrong, and then I move on. So I start with 1 note, and then I go to 2 notes, then I go to 3 notes. I sit there and break it down until I can't play it wrong, and I don't just look for notes. I'm looking for articulation. I'm looking for dynamics. Did I breathe properly? You saw it immediately. I was like, wait a minute, no, I'm not breathing right. And I started adjusting what I was doing to make sure that what I'm doing is what I would be doing in the show. So when you want to approach something that's really hard, it looks like an ant race on the page, it's really, really intimidating, especially the lick at 263. I wouldn't even sit there and do it in 4s, or I wouldn't try and do the whole measure at once. I would literally sit here and I would just do this measure for probably 10 minutes. And then, all right, now I've got beat 1. Now let's do beat 2, So now I have beat 2 and beat 1. Let's add those together. So now I've got the articulation. I've added the first note of beat 2. Now I've got to make sure I can do that in context. And that's literally how I break it down. So if you're really if you're intimidated by part 3, that's okay. It's really hard. It's not easy. That's why we're passing it out in January. But if you're looking for a framework in which to practice this, that way when we do this at the next camp, we start learning this and Probably after the next camp, it's probably going to be a video assignment. If I had to guess, this is how I would practice it. Break it down note by note. Do it super slow. Make sure you can't do it wrong. Make sure that your articulations are there. Your dynamics are there. Make sure that every articulation pattern is correct, that all your rhythms are correct until you can't do it wrong. If you have any questions, feel free to throw it at me in the Discord or message me privately, whatever you want to do. But happy practicing, y'all.